Good morning, 11th students. Chemistry part 2. Our lesson number 11, P block elements. Yesterday I started the chapter. Today, in the second part of the lesson, again we are going ahead for the introduction. Second introduction. Yesterday I taught you up to here. Oxides are acid, the non-metal oxides are acidic or neutral, whereas metal oxides are basic in nature. And I showed you this, we have to learn only in this chapter 13 and 14. Okay, boron and carbon family. You are knowing P block elements, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, and then last. Now I am starting from here. The first member of P block. The first member of P block differs from the remaining members of their corresponding group in two major respects. See, we are starting now. So, first member, if I am talking about the first member, boron or carbon. So, this is boron and this is carbon. This is group 13. This is so first member of this group. First member of this group, it differs from the other groups. Okay, because this one first, second, third, so number of valence electron shells are going to increase. The distance between the nucleus and outermost orbit is going to increase. Size increase, atomic radius increase, and ionization energy is going to low. Now first is the size and all other properties which depend on the size. Okay, so size is going to increase in the group. It becomes like that, like that. So the characters which depends on the size, they are also going to change. Thus the lightest P block element show the same kind of differences as the lightest of S block elements, lithium and beryllium. Okay, so this is the first member of this group. So it shows the lightest elements property like S block elements. The second important, this was the first important. Okay, size is going to increase, so they are having the different properties than their groups. Now the second important difference which applies only to the block P block elements arises from the effect of d orbitals in the valence shell of heavier elements starting from third period onwards. Okay, third period, this is the second. So after third period means 1s, again I am showing you. Okay, starting from third period onwards, and their lack in second period elements. Lack in means d orbitals filling. You are knowing already, I taught you in the lesson number 1s1, 1s2, then 2p, then before starting 2p, 2s is coming, 2s2, then 2p6 filling, then 3s2, 3p, so in 3p6, so in between there d orbitals are also coming, and this is like in second period, means here no d or p orbitals and d orbitals, here no d orbitals, but here 3s and 3p starting with 3d. Okay, in this way we showed. Now the second period elements of P block groups starting from boron are restricted to a maximum covalency of 4 using 2s and 2p orbitals. Means in group T, 2 boron first element, this boron first element. So second period elements of P groups starting from boron are restricted to a maximum covalency of 4. covalency of boron restricted, means not possible. Now, in contrast, the third period elements of group with electron configuration 3s2 3pn have the vacant 3d orbitals lying between 3p and 4s levels of energy. Using these t orbitals, the third period elements can expand their covalency above 4. Okay, so only first period only s block, second, wait, outside, p orbitals, p orbitals 2p, no covalency, but in 3p means third period d orbitals exist. Okay, due to this vacant d orbitals, covalency 4 is possible. This I want to show. Using these d orbitals, the third period elements can expand their covalency above 4. For example, while boron forms only BF4 minus 1, aluminum AlFs6 minus 3 ion, the presence of the d orbitals influences the chemistry of the heavier elements in number of ways. The combined effect of size and first I said no, first I said in groups the size is going to increase, and in groups while going down the d orbitals effect. So these two effects, the combined effect of size and availability of d orbitals, considerably influences the availability of these elements to form pi-pi bonds. First bond is sigma bond, and second is pi bond. This one is sigma and this one is pi bond. So availability to form pi bonds. Now the first member of a group differs from the heavier member in its availability to form p-pi multiple bonds to itself. Example, see, I told you, no, in the group, if you are going, no, carbon and carbon, 6, like that, plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, carbon plus 4, so minus 4. Okay, so carbon, carbon, double bond, nitrogen, fifth group, so minus 3. So triple bond, first one is sigma, second one is pi, this one is also pi. Already I taught you in second and third chapter. Second row element, example C double bond O, C double bond N, C triple bond N, N double bond O. This type of pi bonding is not practically strong for the heavier p block elements. Okay. Now the heavier elements do form pi bonds, but this involves d orbitals. So d pi, p pi are d pi and d pi. Okay, availability of the orbitals which are in d block d orbitals. As the d orbitals are of higher energy than the p orbitals, they contributes less to the overall stability of molecules than those p pi and p pi bonding to the second row elements. Again I am repeating, as the d orbitals are of higher energy than the p orbitals, they contributes less to the overall overall stability of the molecules than those. So these molecules p pi are more stable rather than bonding to the second row elements. However, the coordination number of species of heavier elements may be higher than the first member in the same oxidation state. Okay, so however the coordination number is higher. For example, in plus 5 oxidation state, both nitrogen and phosphorus form oxidation NO3 minus 1. Okay, in redox I taught you N minus 6 minus 1 minus 1 plus 6 plus 6. So nitrogen's oxidation state here is plus 5. 3 oxidation states with pi bonding involving the nitrogen p orbitals, and PO4 minus 3 4 coordination involves s, p and d orbitals contributing to the pi bonds. In this unit we will study the chemistry of group 13 and 14 elements of periodic table. So in the second lecture I completed this introduction, and tomorrow in the third lecture I will start group 13 elements, that is the boron family.